The champagne bottle popped in the next room, followed by my sister Jessica's laughter mixing with our parents' congratulations. She had just received her acceptance letter to Johns Hopkins Medical School, her dream school and our father's alma mater. Meanwhile, I sat in my childhood bedroom staring at my laptop screen in disbelief. Application status: withdrawn by applicant. Withdrawn? I hadn't withdrawn anything. My application to Johns Hopkins had been submitted 3 months ago. Every document perfect, every essay polished until it shone. I'd spent 4 years preparing for this moment, maintaining a 4.0 GPA, scoring in the 99th percentile on the MCAT, volunteering at 3 different hospitals, even publishing research in 2 peer-reviewed journals. Then my phone buzzed with a text from Jessica. Deleted your med school app. Now you see, guess you should have password protected your laptop better. Only room for one Dr. Morgan in this family. My hands shook as I read it again. Jessica, my own sister. The one I had tutored through organic chemistry, the one I had shared all my MCAT study materials with, had sabotaged my medical school application. I was about to storm into the living room when my phone rang. The caller ID made my heart stop. Dr. James Thornton, Dean of Admissions, Johns Hopkins School of Medicine. Miss Morgan. His voice was serious, professional. This is Amelia Morgan, I whispered, bracing for confirmation of my worst nightmare, that my dreams were over. I'm calling about an extremely serious matter. Our portal tracking system flagged unusual activity on your application 20 minutes ago. Someone logged in from a different IP address and attempted to withdraw your application. Attempted. I breathed. Yes. Our new security system records everything. Keystrokes, screenshots, even webcam activation if permissions are enabled. We saw everything, Miss Morgan, including the text message your sister sent afterward bragging about deleting your application. I sank onto my bed, phone pressed to my ear. You saw it? Every second. She used your saved password to access the portal from her laptop. We have video evidence of her deliberately withdrawing your application while laughing. We also have screenshots of her group chat where she's been planning this for weeks. Weeks. Dr. Thornton continued. Miss Morgan, I need to inform you of several things. First, your application was never actually withdrawn. Our system requires email confirmation, which your sister didn't complete. Second, based on your exceptional qualifications, you were already selected for admission with a full scholarship, the Harrison Merit Scholarship. It covers tuition, room, and board for all 4 years. Tears streamed down my face. Congratulations, Dr. Morgan, or rather, future Dr. Morgan. I choked out a thank you, but his voice darkened. As for your sister, Jessica Morgan's acceptance to Johns Hopkins is hereby revoked. Furthermore, she will be reported to the American Association of Medical Colleges for attempted sabotage of another applicant. She will be blacklisted from every medical school in the United States. The champagne laughter from the living room suddenly sounded like a funeral dirge. But, she's my sister, I whispered. A sister who tried to destroy your future out of jealousy, he replied. Someone capable of this level of deception cannot be trusted with patients' lives. Medicine requires integrity above all else. He was right. Please come to my office tomorrow morning. We need to formally document this incident and discuss your admission. The FBI's Cybercrime Division may also need to speak with you. Unauthorized access to educational portals is a federal offense. After I hung up, I sat in silence, listening to Jessica's celebration echo through the walls. Then I stood, walked into the living room and stopped in the doorway. The scene was picture perfect. Jessica in her designer dress, holding her acceptance letter. Mom and Dad beaming with pride. Champagne glasses raised. Aunts, uncles, cousins, all celebrating Jessica's supposed achievement. Amelia, Mom called out. Come celebrate with your sister. She's going to be a doctor. No, I said quietly. She's not. The room froze. Jessica's face flickered, fear quickly masked with a laugh. Someone's jealous. Sorry you didn't get in, Amy. Not everyone's meant for med school. I held up my phone, Dr. Thornton's number still glowing on the screen. That was the Dean of Admissions. They saw everything, Jess. Every keystroke. Every screenshot. Even video footage of you deleting my application while laughing. The champagne glass slipped from her hand, shattering against the floor. What are you talking about? Dad asked, though his eyes darted between us, reading the truth. Jessica logged into my account and withdrew my application, I said, voice steady now. She even bragged about it in this text. I showed them the message. Mom gasped. Dad went pale. Jessica's face turned from red to white. Hopkins has a new security system, I continued. They recorded everything. They also have screenshots of your group chat. The one where you wrote, Amelia always gets everything. Not this time. I'll make sure of it. Our cousin Mark, a lawyer, stood up slowly. Jessica, if this is true, you've committed a federal crime, computer fraud, identity theft. You could go to prison. Jessica exploded. I was going to fix it. When? I demanded. After the deadline passed? After you secured your spot at the school you knew we were both applying to. Before she could answer, my phone rang again. I put it on speaker. Miss Morgan, this is Dr. Thornton again. I wanted to let you know we've just sent Jessica Morgan a formal email revoking her acceptance. She has also been reported to the AAMC. Our legal team will pursue charges for unauthorized access. Jessica let out a strangled, animal-like cry. Also, Dr. Thornton added, congratulations again on the Harrison Scholarship. Your research on pediatric oncology was particularly impressive. Dad whispered almost to himself, the Harrison, that's the full ride. The one I applied for 30 years ago and didn't get. Thank you, Dr. Thornton, I said firmly. When the call ended, chaos erupted. Mom was sobbing. Dad was shouting. Aunts and uncles demanded explanations. Jessica stood frozen in the center, her acceptance letter crumpled and worthless in her fist. You've ruined my life. Jessica screamed at me. No, I said firmly. You ruined your own life. I would have been happy to go to medical school with you. We could have supported each other, studied together. The Morgan sisters taking on medicine side by side. But you couldn't stand the thought of me succeeding alongside you. You always have to be better. Jessica sobbed. Better grades, better scores, better everything. For once I wanted something that was just mine. And you thought you'd get it by destroying me? Dad stepped between us, face pale. Jessica, how could you? Your own sister. She's not my sister, Jessica spat. She's my competition. You always loved her more. Why can't you be more like Amelia? Amelia got straight A's again. Amelia is so responsible. I'm sick of it. We never compared you, Mom said weakly. But even she didn't sound convinced. For the first time I looked around at my family with clarity. How many times had they casually mentioned my achievements to Jessica? How many times had they held me up as the standard? I'd never asked for it, never wanted it, but I'd benefited from it nonetheless. Jess, I said softly. I'm sorry if I ever made you feel less than. I never meant to. But what you did, this isn't about me being better. It's about you choosing to be worse. Her phone buzzed. She glanced at it and her face crumbled. The email, she whispered. My acceptance is revoked. They're recommending criminal prosecution. Mark, our cousin, the lawyer, stepped forward. Jessica, you need to stop talking right now. Anything you say can be used against you. I'm calling a criminal defense attorney. The party was over. Family members left quietly, embarrassed and unsure what to say. The champagne went flat. The congratulations banner looked like a mockery. That night I found Jessica in her room, packing frantically. Where are you going? I asked from the doorway. Away. Anywhere. I can't stay here. Everyone knows. It's all over social media. Someone leaked the story to a med school forum. I'm trending on Twitter. Med school sister sabotage. My life is over. It doesn't have to be. Yes, it does, she whirled on me, eyes wild. Every medical school in the country knows what I did. I'll never be a doctor. 4 years of undergrad, all those MCT hours, gone because of 20 seconds of stupidity. 20 seconds? You planned this for weeks. She collapsed onto her bed. I know. God, I know. When I got my acceptance letter, all I could think was that you probably got one too. That even this wouldn't be special, wouldn't be mine. And I snapped. You need help, Jess. This level of jealousy, it's not normal. She laughed bitterly. You think I don't know that? The dean was right. What kind of doctor would I have been? If I could do this to my own sister, what would I do to a rival resident? To a nurse who questioned me? We sat in silence for a long moment. What are you going to do? Finally asked. I don't know. Maybe teach. Maybe research. Something that doesn't require an MD, something where the AMC blacklist doesn't matter. Her eyes, rimmed with red, met mine. Will you ever forgive me? I don't know, I said honestly. Maybe someday. But trust? That's gone forever. The next morning I drove to Johns Hopkins to meet Dr. Thornton. The campus was beautiful, everything I had dreamed of. In his office, surrounded by medical texts and framed degrees, he handed me my official acceptance packet. Miss Morgan, I want you to know that you earned this entirely on merit. Your sister's actions, terrible as they were, have no bearing on our decision. You're going to make an exceptional physician. Thank you, I said, holding the packet like it was made of gold. We've also implemented new security measures because of this incident. No student will ever have to go through what you did. In that way, your sister's crime may help protect future applicants. As I left his office, my phone buzzed with a notification. Someone had tagged me in a post on the pre-med forum. Amelia Morgan, the girl whose sister tried to steal her future but ended up destroying her own. Remember, folks, integrity matters more than acceptance letters. The comments poured in. Support from fellow pre-meds, horror stories of similar sabotage, congratulations on my acceptance and scholarship. But one comment stood out from Jessica's old study group friend. I knew Jessica was competitive, but this is next level. Amelia, if you're reading this, we all knew you were the better student. Jessica knew it too. That's why she did what she did. Congratulations on Hopkins. You deserve it. 6 months later I began medical school. Orientation week was everything I had dreamed of. My white coat ceremony was bittersweet. My parents came, but Jessica's absence hung over us. She had moved to Portland, working as a laboratory technician. We hadn't spoken since that night. During my second week, Dr. Thornton pulled me aside after lecture. There's something you should know, he said quietly. Since your story went public, we've had 17 cases of application sabotage reported. 17 students who realized they weren't alone. You've helped more people than you know. I thought about those 17 students, their dreams nearly destroyed by jealousy and malice. Then I thought about Jessica, brilliant in her own right, who had thrown everything away for one desperate, vindictive moment. Dr. Thornton, I said, would it be possible to start a support group? For students who've experienced sabotage, academic fraud, betrayal? We need to talk about the pressure, the competition, how it breaks relationships. He smiled. That's exactly the kind of thinking we need in medicine. Healing more than just physical wounds. Yes, Miss Morgan. Set it up. The school will support it fully. Today, 3 years into my medical education, I run that support group. We meet weekly, sharing stories of betrayal and recovery, of dreams deferred but not destroyed. Sometimes, late at night in the library, I think about Jessica. I wonder if she's found peace, if she's forgiven herself, if she's built a new dream from the ashes of the old one. He sent me a letter last month. I haven't opened it yet. Maybe I will when I graduate, when I finally become Dr. Morgan, the title she wanted so badly she was willing to destroy me for it. Or maybe I never will. Some wounds heal. Some leave scars. And some remind us that the people we trust most can hurt us worst. But they can't stop us from becoming who we're meant to be. The dean was right about one thing. Medicine requires integrity above all else. Jessica forgot that. I never will.